get it down and hand it down here to me if you want to.
I kind of can.
Yeah.
Do a window. Stupid nails. Well, now that I cut them, they're so short I can't pick stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to tiny papers. There you go, by the way. Oh yeah, you kind of need your lid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of forgot to do that.
Hey, Pamela.
Hey, Pamela. Crap, just like I forgot to my headset. Huh?
Hey, Hog Girl. Hey, Connie. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, guys.
How you guys doing? Hey, Alice. Pamela, Kathy. Seven on, 5 likes. Seven on, 6 likes. Hope you're doing all right. Not too low.
Elementary. Lift uptown. 100
Elementary. Down under attack.
You died.
You did.
And
Sorry about that.
the room you like this side with okay. Now. Popular.
A bayonet. You got stabbed.
Right here's
Hey, Annie. Annie says, hey, great spirits. Love you. Us too.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's getting. Six.
Yeah, there's 6 on.
Candles.
Spirit just called you out on it. Said, what about Richard?
Goodbye. Sponsors. Ideas.
Let's go on it.
A deer and then something.
She wants me.
Connie says, loving spirits with hearts and prayers.
Under that.
Twisted.
So, it's really good.
Nothing happened. An exploit. I got a young. What about train creep? We feel they have to.
Did you say Charlie?
Services.
Charlie Green. Is that your last name, Charlie? You can play music if you want to.
See.
Annie says she loves music too. A delay in that.
Thing that.
Paula is not on. We're just stuck in a death state. Hey, Sabina. Sabina says, hey.
Call from up.
Don't have to apologize to me. I'm just here to give a voice.
There
you go.
What's happening? A single day.
A single day. Play something. Let us hear some of it.
Absolutely. From Swiss. Everything. It's been the tour.
A tour.
Yeah. Is it right? Likely. nice.
You see somebody.
We get someone up.
You see someone in your house,
So let's say
and a guy just said you need help getting them out.
it's
It's a new era. It's a new time. This is the 21st century.
my things. Perth. Manchester. You need some thing and easily
I don't need this.
change.
I ain't got enough to deal with as it is.
Do we need some police or conjecture? I think it was.
Like I
Done been there, done that. Won't do it again.
An attacks. T-Duck. I did, but it. I'm actually on the internet.
We'll get back to you in a minute. We're going to listen to one that says RCMP has released a new update. It was from 5 days ago. We hadn't done nothing with them in 9 days. There's two ways we can tell if it is legit or if they're just full of crap. If they have an automated woman's voice speak through this, it did not come from RCMP. But we'll listen to a little of it and see what they're saying. Let's just go with it.
Finding qualified drivers shouldn't be a struggle. Our team and platform can.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Louis and Jack.
Have evidence to suggest that an abduction took place at this time.
Is it something you're still investigating, whether or not they could have been abducted?
So we're exploring all investigative avenues.
The positioning of the bodies indicates care was taken in their placement, she explained to Detective Morrison as they worked in the dim forest light. This wasn't someone who was trying to dispose of evidence quickly. The children were laid side by side, covered with natural materials in a way that suggests the perpetrator wanted them to be found eventually, but not immediately.
we've done been past that. We know where Jack's remains were. We also know where some of Lily's remains were for a period of time. I got Ava involved, and she said that they were there, but they've been moved. And that was under her camper. Now, trying to say they were laid side by side, but not in a way they would be found easily. This is not our RCMP's work here. This is not their tale. They fabricated it, edited it, and made it out to what they want it to be. So let's just listen to a little more and see how twisted it gets.
Preliminary examination revealed that both children had died from asphyxiation, like
Are y'all hearing the same thing I'm hearing? Anybody? Can someone answer me and tell me what you just last heard right there? At least saying. Everyone on here knows what asphyxiation means, correct? Correct. What did Daniel say happened to him before he got threw around in the bathroom? What did he say? I'll tell you what he said. He said, I was choked and I was beaten. Somebody is trying to put half truths in it. The only decent thing about that is that they confirmed what Jack said happened. I've done some studying about Jack and Lily a lot. I know for a fact that RCMP has the majority of it. We know that. But I believe RCMP may think that these may not be the only two children that they're having to work with right now. It could have been an insurance job. It could just been someone they dealt with as far as selling drugs back and forth. And they may have had the same kind of situation where the child was in bad shape, couldn't go back to school, didn't know what else to do. Well, see, where they're telling off on themselves is that, okay, they found pretty good bit majority of Jack. We don't know that. But then they was, well, where was Lily? Yes. The majority of Jack has been found. Yes. That's done been taken care of. They were, I guess, DNA close to where the body was, or some of the remains of Jack that had some of her, Lily's DNA. They will take leaves, sticks, anything that looks even like maybe a deer had laid down on it. Anything they can get to get DNA. All right. Then they said that an animal, a dog or whatever it was, sniffed out some remains under her camper. She told them they couldn't come in or nothing, the trailer or the camper. She tried to put it off. They got a search warrant. That time they got a cadaver dog. Well, during the process of them doing that, just so happens that the remains was gone. But yet, they found one piece of bone. One piece. And if it still had bone marrow in it, they could get the DNA out of it. So now they're trying to tell the story that they were laid together, side by side, covered, but not to where it'd be easily found. We've done crossed that path. We have done went all the way with this. And I don't know what people's deal is. I know they come over here and try to get info from here and take it back and reword it somehow. But this ain't something you can just reword. For number one, we heard from the children themselves. Just in the beginning of this. Think about it for a second. Just think. What they are saying is what the kids have already told us. There's no more room for game here. I've heard through the grapevine that the reason a lot of things are not put out to the public yet is because they believe they are more. And it could involve Daniel and some of the others. And if they do anything too quick, right now, and they're just put away. They'll never get a conviction for any other missing teens or, well, over there, these children. I think the oldest ones was like, what, 13, 14 or something, maybe 15. But some of this could be tied in. And that's what they know. And that's why that's the last time RCMP actually spoke without someone editing a video of RCMP saying something, but watch the mouth movement. It's not adding up with the sound. You can tell that it was edited. They could be more than just Jack and Lily. And they don't want to exploit every daggone thing and then miss the chance of getting that justice for other children as well. Because we are not just talking about Jack and Lily here. They've done been 4 to 6 already found. Right up in the same places. But now trying to say again, and I know it sounds like a broke record, but apparently we have to get it into people's heads. We've done heard all this from the children. Okay. Now, apparently, remains that were under her camper is being said something about they were both covered with something where it wouldn't be easy found. But that is a lie. That is a lie. They had done got the majority of Jack already done their analysis, everything they needed to do. So there's no way that someone can come in and say, now they were laid side by side. You can't do that. Jack was already picked up and taken away. People try to twist this thing around, and I told you they would. Even after this whole thing is settled, someone will still come up with something to try to say that they left out something.
Within hours of their disappearance from the backyard, there were no signs of sexual assault, which ruled out some of the most common motives in child.
You're a damn lie. How you think her panties got full of blood? You know, the other day, I mentioned this. I said the very next time that we listen to a clip and it's an automated female voice speaking, I'll cut it right then because I know it's trash. Now they got a guy using AI for the voice over just to try to get us to continue to listen or pay attention to it. I was born, but it wasn't yesterday. I may be slow, but I ain't dumb.
Abduction cases, but raised different, equally disturbing questions about why someone would kill 2 innocent children. More troubling were the physical evidence details that suggested the children had been kept alive for some time before their deaths. Their clothing.
Did you hear of a basement? dummy. Did you hear of a basement? Did you hear a vacation with friends? See, they hit and miss, hit and miss. They don't tell it like it is. You know that song that says "Tell It Like It Is"? That should be played through this whole damn thing right now in the background. Good night, Cassie. Thank you for being here.
Good night, Kathy. Sweet dreams.
Yes.
Showed signs of having been changed. Their hair had been brushed and arranged. Their hands had been cleaned. Someone had cared for them, maintained them, treated them almost like possessions rather than victims. This level of care combined with the ultimate outcome suggests we're dealing with someone with a very specific psychological profile, explained Dr. Michael Torres, a forensic psychologist brought in to assist with the investigation. The perpetrator wanted to keep these children in a controlled environment, possibly to fulfill some fantasy or compulsion, but ultimately always intended to kill them. The crime scene processing took 2 full days, with forensic teams working in shifts to ensure that every piece of potential evidence was documented and collected. Soil samples were taken for analysis, hoping to find trace elements that might indicate where the children had been held before being brought to this location. Fiber evidence was collected from their clothing and the surrounding vegetation. Even insects were gathered, as forensic entomology could help establish a more precise timeline for when the bodies had been placed at the site. But it was the discovery of several small personal items that provided the most heartbreaking insights into Jack and Lillian's final days. Jack's favorite dinosaur toy was found carefully placed next to his body, but forensic analysis showed that it had been cleaned recently, suggesting that whoever held the children had been aware of the toy's importance to the boy and had made efforts to maintain it. Similarly, a small notebook was found with Lillian, containing drawings that she had apparently made while in captivity. The drawings showed stick figures of children in what appeared to be an enclosed space, with bars drawn across.
Yeah. These people, these people, it's been a very long time since I've showed my ass, but I'm right on the verge of it. Let me tell you something, and I know the one that uploaded this video. I'm talking to you. Stop lying about these children, for one. For two, don't say that they were well taken care of by somebody else and then put into a basement with bars or whatever you're trying to claim now in a closed in space. These children were put in the dark. No windows. Nothing but a mattress. You're trying to tell half truths, and buddy, you're barking up the wrong tree here. You are sick. You don't tell just ungodly things about sweet little children to try to make yourself look good like you're all into the case or something. When you, truth be known, you probably got slip on shoes. You're too stupid to tie your own shoes. The only reason that you're doing this is because you cannot sit and make contact with these children yourself. And you're doing anything you can, taking from different platforms to create your videos. Stop it. I mean, stop it.
Windows and doors. In childish handwriting, she had written, "I want to go home," and "Where is mommy?" These artifacts provided devastating evidence that Jack and Lillian had been alive and aware during at least part of their captivity, that they had known they were separated from their parents, and that 6-year-old Lillian had
Again, Malaya has already admitted to leaving the children in the basement. When she come back, yeah, too late. She didn't think it'd be too late, but it was. What do you think happens to a child, 4-year-old, when you pick it up by the throat, beating it with whatever you can, your hand, a fist, a stick, or whatever, throw it around in the bathroom a while, and then throw it down some stairs and try to make it look like they fell down the stairs following you down to do your wash? See, uh, uh, so help me God if I wasn't trying to live right. Yes. And I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but right off the top, they had an officer speak, you know, about where some of the whereabouts was. And then they cut it. And then he started speaking. You see, he didn't give authorities time to say nothing. That's trigger number one. Now he's telling it all, but he's leaving out the main parts. No wonder I got a bad heart. No wonder I do. They stressing me out. I I can't help it. I I love children. I can't stand the thoughts of a child being hurt or mistreated in any way. Lord have mercy. Mm. Pray she come back from that pretty good. Oh, honey, I'm past upset. Next step is Ava. You have my word on that. I'm tired of it. I am tired of it.
and had been mature enough to understand that something was terribly wrong with their situation. The location analysis revealed additional disturbing details. The site was positioned in a way that it could be accessed from multiple directions, suggesting the perpetrator had scouted it carefully and established escape routes. More troubling was the discovery of what appeared to be a makeshift camp about half a mile away, with evidence of recent habitation including food containers, bedding materials, and children's items that didn't belong to Jack and Lillian. This suggests we might be dealing with someone who has done this before, Detective Morrison.
What did I just say? What did I just say? I believe wholeheartedly that RCMP believes that there's more that Daniel's bunch and all of them have even admitted to that they could be tied to. If they act too swift, then they never get a confession. These children need to be able to have a voice. If you're patient, if you give it time, a child will tell its own story. Hey, Judy.
Explained to her team during their evening briefing. The level of preparation, the knowledge of the terrain, the psychological control demonstrated over the victims, all of this indicates experience with abduction and possibly murder. The investigation expanded immediately to examine unsolved missing persons cases throughout the region and beyond. Database searches were conducted to identify any similar crimes with comparable characteristics. Children abducted from safe environments, held for extended periods, then killed without sexual assault. The pattern was unusual enough that it might provide a signature to identify other crimes by the same perpetrator. Within days, connections began to emerge. 3 other cases in neighboring provinces over the past 5 years shared similar characteristics. Young children who had disappeared from their homes or safe environments, been missing for weeks before their bodies were found in remote locations, killed by asphyxiation without evidence of sexual assault. In each case, the children had been found with their
What did I just get through saying again? They have got to stop.
personal belongings arranged carefully around them, and in each case, evidence suggested they had been kept alive for some time before being killed. The realization that Jack and Lillian might have been victims of a serial killer sent shockwaves through the investigation team and the community. This wasn't an isolated tragedy, but potentially part of a pattern of crimes that had been occurring across the region for years without being connected. We're dealing with someone who has been perfecting this process, explained FBI behavioral analyst Dr. Sarah Chin, who was called in to assist with the profile development. The care taken with the victims, the remote locations chosen for disposal, the absence of sexual motivation, all of this suggests someone who is fulfilling a very specific psychological.
Just a second ago, he said there was no sexual assault
need through these crimes.
Now,
the profile that emerged was disturbing in its implications.
He's claiming
the perpetrator was likely someone with extensive knowledge of wilderness areas, possibly someone whose work or hobbies brought them into contact with remote forest locations. They demonstrated organizational skills and the ability to plan complex operations over extended time periods. Most troubling, they appeared to view children as collectible objects rather than human beings, caring for them temporarily before ultimately disposing of them. Local knowledge was clearly a factor, as each crime had occurred in areas that would require familiarity with local terrain and access routes. This suggested someone who lived or worked in the communities where the crimes occurred, someone who could blend in and gather information about potential victims without arousing suspicion. The investigation began to focus on individuals who had connections to multiple crime locations, who possessed the skills and knowledge necessary to carry out such complex operations, and who had potential psychological motivations for committing these specific types of crimes. Background checks were expanded to include anyone who had lived or worked in areas where similar crimes had occurred. Cross-referencing databases revealed several individuals who had been present in multiple locations during relevant time frames, but each lead required extensive investigation to either eliminate or confirm as viable suspects. The forensic evidence from Jack and Lillian's bodies provided additional clues. Hair fibers that didn't belong to either child suggested contact with someone who had dark hair and possibly worked in an environment where specific types of industrial fibers were present. DNA evidence was found under Lillian's fingernails, indicating that she had fought
Why don't you go to bed, love?
I'm not tired.
Oh, Lord help me. After please try to picture this in your mind as I'm saying it. If you have to close your eyes to picture it, close them. These babies have told us everything from the get go. We know without a shadow of a doubt that people are coming over here, getting what I'm getting, and taking it back over there and twisting up the words because they cannot do what we can sit here and do. There's 4 lies right there in one, right off the top. AMZ. Jack was found partially. Lily's remains moved again except for a piece of bone. All that RCMP has. They have the children. People are trying to override it, saying no, no, no. Well, let me put it in plainer words. It started out just like Jack said, just like Lily said, just like Rose said, just like Ava said. Jack was found partially by a hiker. Then come the question, where's Lily? Where's Lily? I've got proof that Lily was pleading for Jack. She plainly even states it loud and clear, I need Jack. Now claiming that they have DNA and debris and things under her nails that they've did all that. The DNA's done come back. They're just staying hushed about it. But they did not want to put them close together in the beginning because it would look too much like a certain, Daniel and Malaya. Because they've done said a million times, you see Jack, you see Lily. You see Lily, you see Jack. They're right there together. They tried to separate them in death, but they failed like crazy. Now, if this is how they're telling on themselves, how would RCMP know that she had DNA under her fingernails if Lily hadn't been found yet? Make that make sense. I'm telling you, when it comes to these cases, I don't give a damn what child it is. I'm going to believe that child over anyone. The one does these things, they're for sure not going to tell much of nothing. So these children and the good Lord is the only ones that really know, and they can say what needs to be said. And the good Lord gives them enough to talk, and we're here to give them a voice and let them say it. That is a gift that I was given when I was born. And that's why I say I will not stop giving children a voice until there's no more breath in my lungs. They've changed these things around so much, just trying their best to keep it a main topic, main deal. If people quit falling for all that mess, that's what happened with Summer's situation.
That's what's going to happen to a lot of kids' situations.
And all Summer's asking for, well, apparently they got what was behind the block wall, but now what is at Eastman Dam? And she'd be fine. She wouldn't give a flip anymore. She's happy. She's made more friends. She has found love in death that she had never out of her whole time being found love here on earth. And that's a daggum shame.
It really is.
Daniel could not stand these kids. He turned Malaya against her own children. There were other people to back it up. They've admitted that Malaya talked Logan and Daniel into hiding his body after she done threw it down into a basement off some steps, and it didn't look normal like a fall. So they wrapped him up in a sheet and put him in a sleeping bag and took him to the woods. And yes, animals got into the bag. And if that had not happened, they probably wouldn't have been found. And the dismembered part of the situation, yes, that was done as well. Or if it was done by animals or them, either way, dismembered. They got to stop.
Her attacker at some point, providing what might be the crucial evidence needed to identify the perpetrator once a suspect was located. But perhaps the most chilling discovery was a small digital camera found hidden near the crime scene. The camera contained photographs of Jack and Lillian taken during their captivity, images that documented their fear and confusion but also revealed details about where they had been held. The background in the photographs showed what appeared to be a basement or underground space with concrete walls and minimal lighting. These photographs provided the breakthrough.
and they claim they don't nobody come over here and get what I get and take back and put on their platform. Everything that this son of a bitch is saying, we've had 2.5 months ago. This was uploaded 5 days ago. If anybody, any one of you, see that Shona woman or what was that? Well, yeah, Shona on here, ban her for good immediately. I cannot help that they are jealous of what we can do here at JSV that they can't do, even walking around, looking through some weeds and whatnot. Sometimes all it takes with children is patience. And let them learn that they can trust you and tell you how they feel and what's happened. They'll tell you everything you need to know. But you got to make that rapport with these children. Now, every bit of that was said near about 2 months ago. And we've got it on paperwork right here. We got it on live footage of them saying it. I'm tired of being taken advantage of. I'm tired of people twisting what I get. I'm tired of people twisting these children's words around to just come around circle to what they've already been saying. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, somebody is going to try to knock you back, kick you when you're down, kind of deal. We have the proof because it comes from the main source. We I I'm tired. I'm tired. People taking advantage of us and using it somewhere else, and no, they don't like it because it's a damn truth. I don't know that Shauna kept trying to say that there's out, and in my mind, uh, Hell no. But I went along with her for a few minutes to see if she would switch it up. And what gets me is that she admitted, yeah, she admitted to having Logan and uh, Daniel to go hide Jack's body. She admitted to that. She admitted to the murder. I don't care where you're at in the world. I'm not sure if they were a bond, it would be $1 million or something. I don't much think she's got that kind of cash. Daniel got charged with the same thing so far. Um, no. Well, hun, get you some rest. You can always watch it tomorrow or after a while. It's already tomorrow here. But they said that they would be more charges, uh, and probably more charges to come to Logan as well. And I just don't see that. No, they would not be allowed to be set free after admitting to covering up a murder. No. That's right, Alice. And that's for all of us. Down here worrying, hurting, all this bunch of bull crap. When all that's over with, that's when the real living starts. I have no idea up there, Judy. I have no idea how their stuff works up there. Down here, your butt wouldn't get out. Period. I mean, they admitted to doing it. I can't see them walking around free right now. I can't see that Daniel or Malaya and a few others being out and about right now. I don't see it. When it comes to children, I can't control myself. I just, I, I can't stand when some, especially lying on the deceased.
Investigators had been seeking. The images could be analyzed for any identifying details about the location where the children had been held. More importantly, they confirmed that the perpetrator had been documenting the crime, possibly for future reference or satisfaction, which suggested a level of organization and psychological pathology that might help narrow the search for suspects. The investigation had evolved from a local missing persons case to a multi-jurisdictional manhunt for a serial killer who had been operating undetected for years. Jack and Lillian Sullivan hadn't just been victims of a random act of violence. They had been chosen by someone who made a practice of stealing children's lives. Leave a comment right now and tell me, does this change how you think about this case?
No, it makes me realize just how stupid you are. You are dumber than a box of rocks.
Because what investigators were discovering about Jack and Lillian's killer was more terrifying than anyone had imagined. This wasn't just about two missing children. This was about a monster who had been hiding in plain sight for years, perfecting.
You still are sitting there lying. Malaya killed Jack. I believe that it was either Malaya or Logan choked Lily out and was hit with a hammer. They were no serial killer running around and come to their house and just say he says one thing and then he tries to say something else. You know,
The art of making children disappear. The revelation that Jack and Lillian Sullivan were likely victims of a serial killer transformed the investigation from a local tragedy into a national manhunt. The RCMP established a joint task force combining resources from multiple provinces, federal agencies, and specialized units trained in hunting the most dangerous predators society produces. The scope of the investigation expanded exponentially as detectives realized they weren't just seeking justice for two children, but potentially for multiple victims across several years and jurisdictions. The behavioral profile developed by FBI analyst Dr. Sarah Chin painted a chilling picture of the perpetrator they were hunting. This individual demonstrates extremely sophisticated planning and organizational skills, she explained during a task force briefing. They're able to identify vulnerable targets, conduct surveillance without detection, execute complex abductions, maintain control over victims for extended periods.
okay, so let me try to. Well, I can't stoop down to his stupid level, but let me just see if I can act, you know, like half my brain don't work or something for a minute. Okay, so you got this serial killer that comes steal the kids out in the yard. Okay. Apparently you go in the house, you know, throw children around, you know, kill them, put them in a sheet, put them in a sleeping bag, take him and hide him somewhere. Then come back and choke and hit Lily in the head with a hammer. But then once the elements and everything, the decomp and all that's gone, and it's just bone, bring it back to their home and place it under the grandmother's house or camper. How much sense does that dadgum make? The only murderers in this case is Jack. Uh, uh, Daniel, Malaya, Logan, Numbnuts, and probably Daniel's brother. There's no serial killer going to come and kill your people and then bring them back home and just have them laid on top of the ground under your house.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
So he's talking mentally ignorant.
And dispose of evidence in ways that delay discovery. This level of competence suggests extensive experience.
It didn't take that cadaver dog but a minute to find it.
and possibly professional training in areas like security, law enforcement, or military operations. The geographic analysis of the connected cases revealed a disturbing pattern. The crimes formed a rough circle across 3 provinces, with each incident occurring in communities that were connected by major highway systems. The perpetrator appeared to be mobile, possibly traveling for work, and demonstrated intimate knowledge of wilderness areas in each location where crimes had occurred. Detective Morrison found herself coordinating with investigators from across the country as they worked to identify connections between cases that had previously been handled as isolated incidents. The Amber Lake case from 2 years prior involved 7-year-old twins who had disappeared from their school playground during recess. The Riverside incident had claimed 5-year-old Michael Torres, who vanished from his grandmother's backyard during a family barbecue. Each case shared the same disturbing characteristics: careful planning, extended captivity, ultimate murder without sexual assault, and bodies found in remote locations with personal belongings arranged ceremonially around them. The most promising lead emerged from the digital camera found near Jack and Lillian's bodies. Forensic analysis of the
A camera. A camera. A camera was laid next to Jack and Lily's bodies. That was the very words you just said?
Good
Uh-huh.
night, everyone.
Good night, baby.
I'm tired. I can't keep my eyes up no more. I'm sorry.
I'm too wound up over this right now to do anything.
That's all of them, not you.
I'm going to give them children justice one way or the daggum other. They're saying good night. So, if this serial killer was so ingenious, wouldn't it be kind of obvious that you probably shouldn't leave a camera laying next to the bodies that you've been taking pictures of?
photographs revealed several potentially identifying details about the location where the children had been held. The concrete walls visible in the background showed specific construction patterns and materials that might help identify the type of building. More importantly, reflection analysis of the camera lens had captured partial images of the photographer, showing portions of clothing and what appeared to be work boots with distinctive tread patterns. Computer enhancement of these reflection images provided investigators with their first potential physical evidence of the perpetrator: a partial view of someone wearing dark clothing and work boots, with what appeared to be a tool belt or utility equipment visible at their waist. The image quality was too poor for facial identification, but it suggested someone who worked in construction, maintenance, or a similar field that required specialized equipment. This physical evidence was cross-referenced with employment records from all the communities where related crimes had occurred. The investigation focused on individuals who had worked in multiple locations, particularly those employed in jobs that would provide knowledge of wilderness areas and access to underground or secluded locations suitable for holding captives. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A retired construction worker named Robert McLeod, reading about the case in local news coverage, contacted investigators with information about a former co-worker whose behavior had always troubled him. There was something off about Danny, McLeod explained during his interview with Detective Morrison. He knew too much about kids in every town we worked in, always talking about which families had children, what their schedules were, where they liked to play. At the time, I thought he was just being friendly, but looking back, it feels creepy as hell. Appropriate interest in children and had been the subject intensified as the public learned they had been searching for a serial killer who had been living among them, working normal jobs, appearing to have been planning for the possibility of discovery and had prepared a the most dangerous predators investigators had ever encountered. As the manhunt continued with no success, investigators began preparing for the possibility that Harrison might never be captured alive. His knowledge of wilderness survival, combined with his obvious planning for this eventuality, suggested he might be able to evade hours to join the search efforts. Found herself unable to sleep after learning the truth about what had happened to the children she had hoped to help rescue. I keep thinking about those beautiful faces on the missing posters, she explained to a counselor. I imagined finding them safe, scared but alive, running back to their parents. I never imagined that while we were searching, they were already gone, already taken by someone who had been planning to kill them all along. The root cellar beneath the house matched exactly the location seen in the captivity photographs. Forensic analysis revealed DNA evidence from multiple victims, including Jack and Lillian Sullivan. Personal items from other missing children were found carefully stored in containers, like.
There you go. You know, that old farmhouse that got handed down to Malaya through family. That's the way their basements was. They were just dug out. A lot of them didn't even have a window in it. Everything that these babies said is 100% true. They were no serial killer running around killing these children right here. Not the ones along the pipeline ridges. None of that. 2 of them was from their own dad. 4 others was from a family member. 1 more was from a babysitter. They are still 4 missing children that they'll probably end up finding pretty soon up along the pipeline. But, them Jack and Lily described kindly about that basement that they were in. And all they had down there was just a mattress. They're using a serial killer's situation to try to throw the topic off of Daniel and Malaya and Logan and the rest of them. We done know the truth. The children have done told us. And I have said this before too. If people really want to get on social media and find a spot or a channel that you can get the truth from by the source themselves, I don't know why there's not more here now. They just haven't been told, or they just ain't been shared out enough or something. If I was in someone else's shoes, this is exactly where I'd be. Because I would want to know the truth. Not shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but the truth. No, they didn't. They didn't care nothing about the children. Uh, and Daniel turned her against the children, except for Meadow, and she could have had the same fate too. I'm glad they got her out of there.
Trophies or mementos from his crimes. Perhaps most disturbing was the discovery of detailed journals documenting Harrison's activities over several years. The journals revealed a meticulous record of surveillance conducted on dozens of families. Tips poured in from across the country as his photograph was broadcast on every news station and shared across social media platforms. Sightings were reported from coast to coast. Found herself unable to sleep after learning the truth about what had happened to the children she had hoped to help rescue. I keep thinking about those beautiful faces on the missing posters, she explained to a counselor. I imagine finding serial killers. When people invest emotionally in searching for victims, when they allow themselves to hope for positive outcomes, the discovery that the victims were doomed from the beginning creates a unique form of psychological injury. The volunteers and community members who searched for Jack and Lillian are grieving not just for the children, but for their own lost innocence about the nature of evil. The Sullivan family faced the impossible task of mourning their children while also processing the knowledge that their deaths had been planned and executed by someone who had been watching them, studying. The community's response to this revelation was complex and sometimes contradictory. Some impact was philosophical. The recognition that evil doesn't always look like what we expect, that the most dangerous predators are often those who appear most normal, and that the question isn't if Daniel Harrison will strike again, explains FBI profiler Dr. Sarah Chin. The question is where and when, and whether we'll be ready to catch him when he does. Someone with his psychological pathology can't simply stop killing. The compulsion is too strong, the satisfaction too important to his mental state. He does. The question isn't if Daniel Harrison will. The question isn't if Daniel Harrison will strike again, explains FBI profiler Dr. Sarah Chin. The question is where and when, and whether we'll be ready to catch him when he does. Someone with his psychological pathology can't simply stop killing. The compulsion is too strong, the satisfaction too important to his mental state. He's either already claimed new victims in locations we haven't connected to him yet.
What did I just say?
Or he's actively planning his next attack. And they were murdered are now dealing with adolescent anxiety about safety and security. Parents continue to struggle with balancing protection with allowing their children normal developmental experiences. The media attention surrounding the case has gradually decreased, but anniversary coverage and periodic updates about the manhunt keep Jack and Lillian's story in the public consciousness.
You know, this here is so um, heartbreaking that well, I am glad that they finally brought in the cadaver dogs. Uh, you know that did the trick. Um, but the last time we spoke with Jack and Lily, they're just using a fabricated name, Sabina. Um, we could hear the excitement in Lily's voice when she first laid eyes on Jack, and they were back together again. you know, I, I don't understand it. I won't ever understand it. There are no reason on the face of this earth to hurt a child. Daniel was dark, cold, and heartless. He didn't want no children around. He was jealous of the children. Just wanted Malaya to himself so he could control her and feel like, he had the upper hand. They sniffed out remains that were hidden under uh, Daniel's mom's camper. Um, but by the time they got there, the remains have done been moved, all except for one bone, and the dog still laid down on it right there. But according to this nut job, they were put together side by side, and we know that's a damn lie because RCMP has had Jack for a very long time now. So they were not side by side. They took her remains and put them somewhere where someone could find them. And being up there in Canada, like I said, nature, elements, animals, you name it. They may never find all of everything. I like to be sitting in Canada right now. Maybe a public intoxication so I can get in the jailhouse for a little while. No, I shouldn't think like that. It ain't. Two wrongs don't make a right, but it sure does make you want to. If you went back and listened to every first video that they ever did an interview with him and numbnuts, and the only one that Malaya did, we got everything, who did what, how they did it in detail. 2.5 months. We got it right there on paperwork. It's still uploaded to the live shows. Saying things like they laid them side by side, but just in a way that it would take them a long time to find them. Guys, that's a lie. That is a lie. They RCMP done had the majority of Jack's body. Now they may have moved the skeletal remains of Lily over there close to where Jack was found and called and reported that. But we'd know who did that because only Daniel and Logan is the one that went and took uh, Jack's body over there. So everything they did not miss nothing. This is one of them that stands out different from any other that we've done. You could sit and listen to these starting the beginning when I first started doing these children, Jack and Lily, all the way to the tail end of it. And you'll see that everything that they have said was told by someone else that came and got information from us and just twisted a few words around and put it on their platform. Yeah, you know, I I don't know how it. I don't know how you can stay in your own skin from doing something like this. You know, well, you know, they've been so ignorant that they've claimed that started off with the kids just slipped out the house. Then they come up with the idea that a bear come in and got them, and uh, then they claim that uh, somebody, you know, picked them up and run off with them. And then they started accusing anybody and everybody that they could, leading these searchers in areas and ways that they know that these children were not in and that they were already deceased. Well, according to what Ava said that run his car into the river. And then the next thing I heard was apparently somebody seen it and he was in the hospital. I don't know if he made it or didn't make it. Uh, and, you know, I told that a month or two ago too, that that'd probably be one of his ways out. He ain't nothing but a daggum coward. Well, yeah, I'm honest. I mean, there's no sense. And how can I lie when I'm sitting here and we're all hearing it from the children? It ain't me saying it. I just repeat what they say just to make sure y'all hear it. Yeah, RCMP has done got the children. They and just like he said, he slipped up. He slipped up, and he was talking about a serial killer for the ones up along the pipeline, but he slipped up. I caught it, and he said that it could be tied in with Daniel for the rest of these missing children. I don't think it dawned on him until after he done said it. So RCMP authorities, they've listened to that very closely. And, you know, we can't tell these children what to say. We can't tell nobody what to say. They say it, I repeat it. That's it. Authorities don't like it or whoever, I don't give a damn. But there's one thing that I do know. I will not ever give up of letting children, teens and adults, tell their own story. It is the only thing that I can do without having the funds to go out and go to these places. And I'm having to do it right here. And I'm stressed to damn enough as it is. I'm that close for just depression. And it feels like I just got no way out, you know? And then hearing that stupid crap. Telling half truths because they know that gun well we done got all that information. Yeah. That's the way I've always done it. Yep, you're right. Like I said, and I can sit and say it until my face turns blue. We cannot tell a spirit what to say. It won't work like that. They'll shut down and they won't speak to you again. Yeah, and then I don't watch like all I watch is like that, like a clip of them talking. I don't watch a clip to like where they're at and and what they're seeing and things because they blur it out anyway. Um, I don't listen or watch other people's YouTubes uh, things on missing teens and children to get information because anybody that's been here any length of time knows that the only reason that we even listen to them clips is so I can call them out on their lies. And I can prove it by my live shows of the children saying it. Plus, I got 10-page notebook here, plumb full of it. I don't want my mind anywhere near corrupt of what someone else is saying. I only listen to what the children tell me. It's not like I go and click on uh, somebody's missing persons uh, channel and watch what's been going on. I don't do that. We sit and listen to it on these right here, and that's it. And y'all know I call him out on it, or whoever. Last time I called this same person out because he had an automated woman speaking. And I know that wasn't RCMP. This time he did the overlay talking himself because he knew that I wouldn't listen to it any other way. And I told y'all that in the beginning. If that's what's going to happen, we're turning it off. So tell me they don't pay attention to what we talk about. That's right. That's right. They're using and abusing me. Like I said, it's all about jealousy. Like I said, it ain't my fault that I can connect with these children or any other child. You know, the other day I was tickled because I was at 900. Wait a minute. Not 9,999 sessions under my belt so far, and I've yet to fail. My very next session will be the main one. That'll be the one to celebrate for. You know, 100,000 is a lot, and I mean a lot. I've stuck with it, and what else can we do but let them have a voice? You know, let them take their anger out. I tell them all the time, say something bad, say something good. I don't give a damn. Yeah. Okay. Good night, Judy. Thank you for being here, love. Uh, you know, I can usually tell how something's going to roll back, and I explained it to every one of you of exactly how this is going to play out. Because every time we'd turn it on, they got where they'd tell just a little bit, and it would make us more anxious to do it over and over and over until they finally told the whole story. But we had to make that rapport with these children for them to trust. Well, I'm kind of thinking about turning it on, calling out to Jack and Lily, and just see what they say about it. I know they're happy now that they're together. During their death is probably the furthest they've ever been apart from one another. That's true. That's true. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Can you hear me, love? Jack and Lily Sullivan. Can you hear me? Thanks, Rose. Let them say it. I know he lied. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Jack. Talk to me. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Can you hear me? I heard something. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Can you hear me? I'd like to ask you some things. Hey. Jack or Lily, either one. Have both of you already been found by authorities? Jack, okay, cool. Wait. Yes, they done you dirty, Jack. They did. But listen here. You and Lily are together now, forever. You know. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Yes. Yes, mom's evil. Yes. Rose, I know you've seen it. I'm wanting to talk to them for just a minute. I got a question for them. Lily and Jack Sullivan, hear me clearly. Stay focused. Did both you lose your life in your own home? Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Did both you lose your life in your home? Yeah, I thought so too, buddy. I've got another question. Lily, please let these children answer these few questions. Lily, did you see your mom take Jack's life? Lily, it's all out and open now anyway. Lily, did you see your mom take Jack's life? Let me say it a different way. Lily, did you see your mom kill Jack? And she tried to hang him. That's a little bit new on me, but she tried to hang him. Okay, good deal. Thank you. Now, Lily, stay focused. I want to know who did this to you. I'm gonna call off some names, and you tell me who killed you. Was it Daniel? Was it Logan? Lily, focus. Was it Logan that took your life? That killed you? Just try to speak up. I'm going to ask again. Lily, did Daniel kill you? Lily, it's all out and open anyway, honey. Lily Sullivan, did Daniel take and kill you in your home?
What?
Okay. When you, Lily, I got another question for you here. Lily, please stay focused. Lily Sullivan, stay focused, love. There were some remains under your grandmother's camper. Was that your remains? Wait. Lily, was the remains found under your grandmother's camper? Was that your remains? Okay. And I know you did tell me, and I know you did tell me that they started with your feet and you were having to hold your breath like you were deceased. I am sorry you've had to go through that. But justice is coming, love. 100%. I they got all of it but one. Are you talking about that one bone that was left? Please don't. Okay. I know they did. Um, when you were in the house and your life was taken, did anyone just use a rope or something to put around your neck? Or a cord? Was it a cord? And I remember you said you were hit on the head. You bleed with a hammer. Lily Sullivan, were you smothered with a cord? Please speak up. Daniel did it. Okay. Did they take your... Hold on. Lily Sullivan. Did they remove your remains out from under your grandmother's camper and take you to where Jack was placed the first time? You said, yeah, they did. Try not to whisper, love. Okay. And you told me that you were in a dark place, like a basement, and only had like a mattress down there. You said it was total darkness. Wait. Okay. They did. There's just no words, Lily, for you and Jack. Yeah, sad, but it goes beyond that. So we definitely know. And Rose, you can answer this as well. Shush. Shush. Is it positive that both you and Jack's remains are with authorities as of now? Lily and Jack Sullivan, I love you, and I just have no words other than, yeah, sad. I wish you two could have grew up and really been something in life, but now you got something greater than that. Just waiting for the Lord to come back. Yeah, and Jack. You guys will be very, very happy then. Bless you, love. That old farmhouse, I think, was about 5 miles from their home. You have to go down a good ways and turn back left. It was either the first or second house on the left. And back in the day, they dug out their own cellar, and that's where they were put. And I know for a fact that she was in there with her deceased brother Jack until Malaya come back from vacation and with a friend. These are sick, sick individuals. And again, I turned that box on and I let everybody hear it, and I just repeated what I thought I needed to repeat. So you all heard it for yourself. And uh, Carol, you can go back and watch my videos. You can click on live shows or videos or whatever. Uh, Meadow has done been adopted out. Yeah, she's in another state. Uh, yeah, Carol, you can go back plumb to the very first Jack and Lily Sullivan, or something like that, or something. Anyway, it have something to do with Jack and Lily. Uh, well, y'all just heard who did what, where it happened, and now you can see how people come over here and get what information I get and take it and put it over on their platforms and just twist some of the words around. it just kills me, you know, just like it rips your heart out. Could you imagine you being 6-year old and staying in a locked up basement in the pitch dark with your deceased brother for nearly 2 weeks while your mama was on vacation? Nothing to sit on but a mattress? No, she'll never return. Yeah, she's done been adopted out, and she's out of the state there. Well, when they hold press conferences, if it's a cop, and you'll know they're up there, they're either in black or blue. Uh, they're only going to say so much. Um, they won't tell the whole detail, and they've done told everybody that we'll tell you so much, and the rest of it is going to stay confidential until this thing is solved. But now, as you even heard this numbnut slip up, and he made a bad slip up then, saying that Daniel could be involved in some other murders up in that area. So he doled off on himself on that one. Yeah. Well, he never fell downstairs. She choked him and beat him to death, threw him around in the bathroom. You got to remember, a little old fragile child, little boy, probably hitting his head on the bathtub, toilet, sink, whatever. And, Lily got up from there and was hearing every bit of that. And I'm sure that Lily seen her throw wherever they were at, uh, throw him down a flight of stairs, but it didn't look like it was an accident apparently. So that's why they wrapped him in a sheet and a sleeping bag and had Logan and Daniel to go hide the body. So with that being said, just like Shona, she just kept pissing me off trying to dispute what I'm saying. And when I was saying that I don't believe that they would let murderers or conspirators to murder let someone like that just walk free. And she says, well, I know where's the proof of that? Where's the proof? I'm not going to argue with anybody. And she had me to go at it for a couple of minutes until you guys got rid of her. I'm not tolerate that crap. People are not going to twist my mind and try to make me think that these children have lied, because they have not. Everything that we're going to hear from here on out, and I mentioned this months ago. Every time we do a session, it won't be but a few days, and we'll listen to one of these little clips, and you'll hear them talk about something that was said over here on my channel. It's pathetic. It's pathetic of people being that daggone jealous. Well, guys, it's 1:38 in the morning here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. She gets off tomorrow at 9 at night. She's got to go in at 1, so I'll probably try to see y'all sometime midday. Just keep an eye on your devices and whatnot. And Alice, while you're here, yeah, that's why I text you back that place is open Monday but closed Tuesday, and they open at 8 o'clock. Good night, every one of you. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for being here.